the Joshua World Talk Show. We're here for another episode with Dot Reed, Gangan, our wonderful Gangan. And we're just going to continue with some questions. And what can you tell me again about your parakeet?
Oh, we had this parakeet for years, and he always sat on our shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the kitchen doing dishes, not paying no attention. She was sitting there nibbling at my neck. And so the kids all went outside, so I went out to see what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot he was on my shoulder. I went out the back door.
Oh, no.
And oh my goodness, of course he flew away then.
Oh.
He got up on the garage, and they almost got him a couple times. But I guess he just disappeared after that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Speaking of that, you remember not too long ago there was a bird that flew in the house here?
Yeah.
Now I was walking in the door and it flew in and we're like, whoa! And it tell how did you feel when that happened?
I felt like it was a sign something was gonna happen. I really did.
It was awful.
It was a very scary moment.
Yeah.
But you chased it around and you got him.
We got him. We opened up the door and turned the light off, but I think we turned the light on out there, and we got him from this tree, and he eventually made it out, and that was and didn't the same sort of thing happen to Laura?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of my granddaughters, and it happened to her, and they chased it all over the house.
Yeah.
They caught it behind the TV, I think.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't get it to go out the door.
Yeah, but they're more scared of us than we are of them.
That's right.
But,
that is an eerie feeling to have a bird come in the house.
Yeah. Back to our bird, the bird that came in here, Josh was the one that noticed it first when it came in the house. And, boy, that was kind of scary, though. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But, he got pictures of it and everything.
Yeah. It was a little bitty one, though,
yes,
wasn't
teeny tiny little, just a little, I think it was like a finch. I think it was a little finch.
Too.
Yes, he was. He saw it zoom by, and he yelled that it was in the house, and it was quite amazing. Quite amazing. Back earlier this year, we were in a really deep conversation, if you remember, and something happened with the refrigerator. Do you remember what happened in the refrigerator? What fell out of the ice maker? There was ice. It was so random. It was really weird, but we were just in a deep conversation, and it broke up. All the the deep conversation.
Yeah, it gets loud sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, that was back. That was back in August 27th of this year. Okay. Going back even further, in 2011, we took a trip to Iowa and South Dakota, and I remember meeting your cousins in South Dakota, and what was the name of that place?
The Corn Palace.
The Corn Palace, yes. And
everything's made of corn.
Yeah. Now, what can you tell me about your cousins?
Well, I've never met him. And it never did occur to my family that I was going to meet my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So he was my mother's brother's child.
Uh-huh.
And so I had my cell phone on, and I dialed his number. I said, "Where you at?" And he was right down around the corner. He said, "I'm right here." I didn't,
that was
that's
fun.
the first time I ever laid eyes on him.
Yeah. Special times.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And his sister now has deceased.
Yeah.
She's passed away about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret.
Yeah.
And I always loved Margaret. She's the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
And, but that's what happened.
Yeah. But that was really cool to go there and for you to meet them. That was really
That was
special.
very, that was great to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I don't know how they felt about it, but I
Yeah.
was really pleased. So.
And thinking back at memories, do you remember when Tori and Ben got married? And do you remember when you lost your glasses?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
What? That must have been hard. What do you think happened?
I don't know, but we had a lot of people here.
Mhm.
And I think through all the commotion, I took them off, laid them on the table.
Mhm.
And they got swept up in the trash. That's the whole thing. I went through the trash, but I couldn't find
Couldn't
them.
find them.
I even went back to the hospital where I had an appointment to see if I
Mhm.
left them there.
Mhm.
And they had a whole drawer full of glasses where people had left them.
Oh
I said,
wow.
no, none of theirs are mine. And but I went to the wedding without glasses.
Without glasses, you looked fine though.
And I
You couldn't see a thing, but you looked fine.
couldn't see much, but I made it through fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
It was a beautiful day, wasn't it?
it was.
Yeah. But anyway, going even further back, let's go back to when you were really little, and we try to think about people when they went through the Great Depression.
Oh,
What do you remember about the Great Depression?
the only thing I could remember much about the Depression was that nobody had anything.
Yeah.
And there weren't very many jobs. That's when the government started PWA workers.
Mm-hmm. What are they?
They got jobs for them, and they went out as a group.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a hard time.
Yeah.
But I remember most about the Second World War. We had everything rationed.
Yeah.
We had to have stamps for meat, for anything like that, because all the good stuff went to the soldiers,
Mm-hmm.
and which you should.
Yeah.
And we give up stuff for the soldiers. And I worked in an egg factory in the summertime,
Yeah.
and I cracked eggs. I'd break them eggs and I'd put them in a cup, and I had a smell of them. Then after if I thought this was all right, I'd put them in steel vat. And from finance said, where are all these eggs going? They said, we're making dried eggs for the soldiers.
Aww.
So they can, if they're out in the fields, they can put a little water in it and have eggs.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
I was pleased about that.
I wonder how do they make powder eggs?
I didn't watch it. I
They
don't know.
didn't tell you.
I wasn't but 16.
Okay.
So-
yeah. I imagine though, like when you would crack those open, they kind of had to take care of those things right away, didn't they?
Yes, we didn't have refrigeration.
Yeah.
And so they had to, they took them somewhere in this plant and did it immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't leave me alone.
Yeah.
So everything was good, but I smelled eggs all summer.
Ew. Did you ever find any rotten ones?
Well, one time they brought me a bucket of rotten ones.
Oh no.
Because I didn't know it until I started cracking them, and that was the awfulest thing you ever heard.
Ew.
And so I called them over. I said, somebody picked up the wrong bucket here. So they took it away and brought me a good bucket.
Oh wow.
But it was awful. But I couldn't mix them with the good
No,
stuff.
no, absolutely
So-
not.
I don't know. It was a mess there for a while.
Yeah, yeah. But what else do you remember about World War II? You were what, 16 then, when you were
Uh-huh.
working? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did any of your family serve in World War II?
No, I didn't have nobody to serve. And,
Yeah.
of course, my daddy had already passed away.
Mhm.
And but I graduated in 1944
Mhm.
and met my husband the same month.
Yeah.
And he was in the service
Yeah.
down in Sioux City Air Base.
Oh boy.
So anyway, We got married 4 months later.
Oh, ooh, whirlwind romance, I tell you what. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long was he in for? How long did he serve?
He served 3.5 years.
3.5 years. What was the normal amount of time that people served back then?
That's about it.
About
I
it?
think, yeah.
Yeah. I know now you sign up for at least 4 years.
Yeah.
Some.
And he went in and he made sergeant in a very short period of time.
I know when I went in the Navy, we signed for 4, and then we had to also make ourselves available for another 2 years. If we got out after 4, we still could have been called back for 2 years, but I stayed in for 7 years, so I kind of, didn't have to worry about that after I got out. Didn't have to worry about that. Even though I would have loved to have gone into the reserves, they didn't have musicians in the reserves back then. And
I bet they do now.
They do now. Yeah. They had by the time I reached I was a little bit older, they sent me notification that we're letting musicians in the reserves now, and I'm like, I was pretty much to the end of that qualification time, so I didn't even pursue it because I was already singing and on the road and everything like that. Fast forwarding a little bit, 9/11. Where were you when that happened?
I really can't remember where I was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. That was what? That's 17 and a half, 17, 18 years ago, wasn't it?
I guess.
Yeah. But I know I was at home. It was in the morning. I was home. Were you at home back then, or were you still working?
I was working, I guess. So.
Yeah. Were you still at Toshiba?
That memory is just not with me. I don't know why.
I mean, a lot of times we'll watch the morning news programs and everything, and that's what I was doing. I was watching, I think it was probably like, ABC's program, and, all of a sudden, there was the news of this. They thought originally it was just a small plane that had crashed into the tower. And then they realized that no, this was a much. Then yes, and then they had all the video of the second one, and they knew it was a big plane. But I was pregnant with Josh, and this is his show. But I was pregnant with him, and Danny had taken my daughter Tori to school, and on the when he got home, we just sat there and we watched this, and it was just.
It was.
It was horrible. Yes.
But I cannot remember where I was.
Yeah.
I know where I was when World War II broke out.
Mm-hmm. Where were you?
Here come read all about it. The boys on the street.
On the street.
That's where I was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read all about it. War. Franklin Roosevelt declared war on Japan.
Oh, wow. Mm.
So that's the first time I heard that. I was walking home from somewhere. I don't know where it was. Here come them boys in the newspaper.
Yeah. They were hollering extra, read all about it. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow. But now, where were you living at that time?
Sioux City.
In Sioux City. Okay. What can you tell me about? I know we've been to Ottawa, and we've been to the Nagel farm, and where your half brother. Stepbrother?
Yeah. No, he's
stepbrother. He lived on the farm, he and Aunt Marla's. You know the roads pretty well out there, and the towns. What are some towns, what's the geography like out there? Towns that are close by.
Well, of course, it's a farming country.
Mm-hmm.
And you look out and see cornfields for miles.
Yeah.
And but there's still a big hill on the other side of the farm. Looks like I think Indians was coming over there.
Did you ever imagine that?
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
I said, Mother, what would you do if Indians come over there? I guess I sit here and watch them.
Yeah. Well, I can remember when we would visit the farm, Danny and I would, it'd be in the summertime, and we had the windows open, and it was warm outside, and we could hear the coyotes
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you could also hear the cows over, on the hills over there. But I distinctly remember the coyotes that you'd hear at night. Ooh, that was kind of bone chilling.
They had them. They had them all over the place.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. But I love the fact that on the farm that you could
They
go
had
out at
foxes
night. Yeah.
and everything.
What does the fox say?
Well, I don't know.
Ring ding ding. But I love the fact that you could go out on the farm at night and you could look up in the sky and you could see all the stars.
All clear.
And it was just, it was amazing. In the city, we don't, people don't get that kind of a feeling of just the just, it's beautiful. And you can just see forever and ever into the sky and see all these stars. And, where we live now, we can sort of see a lot of it. At times you can see the Milky Way and things like that. But if you gotta get away from the city lights to see all that.
Yeah.
But if we walked outside right now and it was a clear sky, you really wouldn't see, you'd see stars, but you wouldn't see that much. But that's what I loved a lot about Iowa and being out there, and just being out in the countryside. What are some of the names of the towns in your area where you would, if you went from Sioux City down to Ottawa, what roads would you take?
Well, I take the interstate now, but back years ago, all you had was Highway 75.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd come to Sergeant Bluff first.
Mm-hmm.
And Sergeant Bluff has grown to be quite a town.
Yeah, and that's where Betty Lou lives.
Betty
That's
Lou
your
lives
friend,
there.
your best friend.
Then the next town is Salix, I can't call it.
Yeah.
And then the next town is Sloan.
Sloan. Mm-hmm.
And Sloan is where you turn to go to the farm.
Mm-hmm.
And on past that would be, I can't remember. What's the one before you get the, that's long.
Well, you got Mapleton, you got Taconic, and
Well, Titanic is where the farm gets their mail up at Titanic.
Yeah,
It's up on the
Taconic.
hill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Titanic's where the church is.
That's where the church is. Yeah.
And Cascade is where they get their mail.
Okay.
It's up on the hill.
Yeah.
There's not nothing up there either.
Mhm.
Just the mailbox.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ottawa was the town they go into to
Yeah.
get groceries and stuff.
And that has the widest main street in the United States.
Widest Main Street, that's
Widest
right.
Main
That's
Street.
right.
It always just fascinated me. Like, how do they know it's the widest main street?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's just had that reputation.
Yeah.
But
I guess.
anyway, but so did you like growing up in Sioux City? Did you
Yes,
have
I
lots?
did. I liked my hometown still do.
Mhm.
Betty and I was talking not long ago about our childhood
Mhm.
and how different it is for kids today.
Yeah.
We didn't have to be afraid, and it's just a whole different way of life.
Yeah, it is.
And we had a good time.
Mhm.
And of course, in the Depression years, we didn't have much, but we didn't know it.
Yeah,
It's all right.
You just go out and play in the mud and the sand and the dirt,
Yeah.
and swing, and you had to entertain yourself.
We did.
And I think that's what a lot of kids nowadays are. You're missing that creativity, that being able to make up their own games, because we had to do that. Even we had to do that growing up. We didn't have all the gadgets like the cell phones and electronic
We didn't
things.
have a TV.
Yeah, well, we had a TV.
Oh,
My
yeah.
brother built our very first color TV. It was a Heathkit TV. And I remember that. That was fascinating, how he could build that TV. And we had a little black and white TV in the guest room, and I would come home after school and watch some of the afternoon shows on that. And when I was growing up, I'd watch Friendly Giant and of course a little bit older, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and just some, those were my two favorite shows when I was growing up. But now they've got so many shows. I don't even know, half the names
The
of
kids
them.
are still bored.
Yeah, they are. It's like, when they say, kids come and tell me, I'm bored, and I say, I can give you something to do. And they're going, no, it's okay.
Well, then go out and do something.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, any other little tidbits you want to say?
Well, I know when my mother used to go and wash an iron for people till the war come out, and I go listen to the radio. I'd come meet her there, and I'd listen to all the drama on radio.
Yeah.
Mary Worth, the Backstreet Wife, and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
You'd sit around and watch the radio. You'd sit around and watch the radio,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were stories.
Yeah.
And I had funny papers. They'd have the funny paper. I couldn't wait for that paper to get there.
Yeah.
Mother always took the paper.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to read the funny where the story would continue on. And
Oh, cool.
the
Yeah.
kids now laugh at that. So.
Yes, Josh used to read the funny papers with
Yeah.
you when he was younger. Yeah, you guys, I loved the laughter that I heard from you guys when he was little, and of course at times he'd aggravate you to death, and it still does. But I love to hear the laughter of you and Josh
Yeah,
when you
it
would
was funny.
read the papers. That was
But
fun.
he likes it and had a good time.
Yeah. I think that was part of helping him learn to read really well too, because he'd follow
He's a
along.
good reader.
Yeah, he is a good reader. He can read.
I was always a good reader,
Yeah.
but I don't like to read.
Mm-mm.
It's not one of my passions.
Yeah, I'm not a really, my sister was a reader. She loved to read, and I couldn't understand that. To me, reading is it's very tedious. I'd rather watch the movie of the book, But a lot of people say that the book and movies, when they translate it into a movie, there's a lot missing, and I get that. But I've never been one to really read a lot. But on occasion, I'll find a series that I love and I get used to, and I like Jane Austen. I love reading Jane Austen books. There aren't very many, but I've got them. And that time period just appeals to me. And then, of course, I love Jeanette Oak and all of her, her books, the Canadian West series. And, of course, from that, the TV series One Calls the Heart has come out based on that book. And it's just been really good for me to pick up a little bit of reading there. But I've never been one for, doing a lot of reading. But anyway, anything else?
No, I guess that's about it.
Yeah,
We went there now.
yeah.
Well, I heard you were going to New Hampshire for Christmas.
I am. Josh and I are going to New Hampshire, and I'm going to see my brother and his wife and spend Christmas up there. I haven't spent Christmas away from y'all for.
First year you was married,
That was
you
it.
went home.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah.
Well, it was probably our first anniversary, because the first year we went to Arkansas.
Oh well, yeah. That was you're
Newlyweds.
you're what?
Newlyweds. Our
Yeah.
honeymoon was over Christmas,
Yeah.
and I haven't been home for Christmas. I don't even want to number the years.
Is Leona coming up?
I don't know. No doubt we'll probably, if she doesn't come up, we'll go down to see her.
Yeah.
At some point. And
That's good.
I'm looking forward to maybe seeing some snow.
Well,
Yeah.
Josh better carry him some boots.
Yeah. He doesn't have any boots. We're gonna have to work on that. So.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. What are your what's your earliest memory of a Christmas?
When Mother got my daddy down, and I guess there were $10, but she didn't have all that money.
Yeah.
So She told me I wasn't going to get it, so I didn't count on it. Somehow she finagled around and got me that little daddy doll.
Yeah.
And Ernest and I walked off to the house one day. He wasn't sick. And I looked up in this little cabinet. There was my daddy doll sitting in with the pink cradle. Why I didn't pick it up and take it with me, I don't know. But I didn't.
Oh.
I said, there's my daddy doll. And she wasn't about this long.
Yeah.
Little bitty thing.
Yeah.
But I trained her little after all. Constantly. I had more fun with that doll, but Mother sacrificed to get me that doll.
Yeah.
I know she did.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And why I left it there, I left it in the house. I don't know where it went to.
Yeah. There's no telling.
No telling.
There's no telling. But
What do you remember your first Christmas?
no, I don't remember the first Christmas, but the most memorable one was where Daddy had gotten a bonus from work, and we all got our favorite pet. My brother got a dog, my sister got a cat, and I got a gerbil.
Is that what you wanted?
I'd always talked about little gerbils, yeah. And
Now, where do you keep them?
we kept this gerbil in a like a terrarium, and an aquarium.
Could it get out?
You had a like a cover over it, but it was like a terrarium aquarium.
You could watch it.
Yeah, you can watch it. Yeah,
You
watch
didn't
it.
put water in it.
No,
Oh,
no. You just put the cedar shavings and little toys and little things it would run around with, and you had to take care of it, had to clean it, and just had to make sure. And that thing made so much racket though. When it would go in the little wheel, it would race around the little wheel, and if it was against the side of the glass, it would make the most horrible racket. And at night, I'd have to get up and move that thing, but it would always push it towards where it would make noise. And I'm like, stop that!
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah,
Well, I didn't get pets when I was young.
yeah.
I don't remember even having one, but they are a lot of company.
Yes, they are. I have a little kitty cat right now. That's we're joint owners. Josh and I own it, but it stays with me. And I love my little Hardy. She's Beth.
Now, why did you name her Hardy?
Because I am a Hardy. I am a fan of the When Calls the Heart show, and I just thought I gotta name her Hardy. And she's a little squirt blossom. She when she was a kitten, she had little issues, and I'm not gonna go there. Okay, but anyway, it's been good to talk to you again. And it's been good to talk to you.
Thank you.
And I love going back and going through these memories. It's always
Well, you come over again. We'll have another conversation.
Awesome. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Thank y'all for joining us. We've had a ball, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye-bye.